Tap said. But some for HRFPK and then Minemo and the Babetron Common. Now, and your topic near a very beautiful one, as we all know, as usual, when it's legal, the whole world is excited. So I know, sir, everyone will be tripping in very soon, and we will just make this a beautiful one. But before we proceed, I'll call upon Director Danny to give us updates from Tataps and Akache. Into we are na fedie ye the commercials na shem na ye ne ye nyaba lawyer RHODA A-FRIMPONG. So atwetwe kobo ye twen ama lawyer aba into no director Mr. Obetimi ama update from Tataps and South Tebeka kai she
Yeah.
and then me talk kama pa.
Oh yeah, sure. Bibi din.
Okay, we sure intimate.
Okay. Bibi din.
As and the voice in the base abem.
My next my bro, me ka say nyina you know. I'm very rough.
Hey, John Agbe ya chiao kese pa. John Agbe de menyeska bia wa say end of the year no. Be pa award the man no. Dedicated viewer ankasa. I will also be matter taps in it me pe say bia. Sikapudo kese pa ba John Agbe. That our camera no ya friends horizontal one yare. Why she see. There you go. Perfect. Now as a bridge na wujina so no one hwa betom into no. This all back from kaka.
Aya semo. I will tell me na me nyini sisi. Okay, sorry. Bibi din.
But as I could jina bridge ni say who's so perfect. Yeah, who tom.
Oh, me ni we nkwa de minim ye.
No quite the onim yampa.
Yeah, Bibi are okay, PA.
Be okay.
Okay. Abusan for every day will be say and then should be. I think for 1 or 2 reasons, binti email 90 man go out. Into a certain move to me send it across a bed. Mo send my number for woman for new biana or mumraso. Said we are show no ebekoye. Kakra bi na ye walk a updates in him. I wanted to talk about
that all time to boss why.
Okay. So and then me pese you kasa about crofo ya omunna na mu about the course omu ye.
Young Crawford Ben.
Scammers ya omu use.
Oh, okay.
Ye din eye man. I think for time person near ta remind our customers of what they've been doing, and for some time now we've not spoken about them. Until I will take a small break. Yes, it is not difficult to detect these scammers. First of all, you could identify them. Most often, no, most of Neto Nation, Nigeria, ni, and questions are all so familiar. I mean, they want information from you. So be any kasa ba tap no catch us or send you code. Mr. Code no mama send any back. It should be private. Okay, your text message in the crana ya de bana. Ya na ya catch us says our message we don't share it with anybody. Nti ebesere mama share. Now mun try na mun keep because if they get access to your account, sometimes it becomes difficult to protect it. When you also no ma send it ebi amane call. Makan where we know I want to talk about updates, new add-ons. Yeah, I think by now you all know say Brazil, that's why I become. Into say no your international maybe. We have wallet and so I think you be more nipa be started use. And then again, I've been repeating this over and over. Say Obi ewo Europe, you can send money direct to an account using tap. Since they say in Ghana, I think that our customers has been asking, and this is the time move it to me. I use our opportunity, and so I send this across continent, and yet only Africa. Over sending to say the yen Ghana now, but then instead of say Ghana, over say Ghana flag, you know. na wode ato kurokoro Germany, Italy, UK, Ireland, baabi a wopɛ sɛ wo send kɔ biara na kyerɛ sɛ wabɔ sika no atom wagye n'account no na wabɔ atom kama. Another update on the app. We are trying to add a Google Pay, and it will be easier because a lot of people have been asking, say, oh, Senka or Maseti or more cards in our Google Pay, so if they can use it as so Google Pay and Apple Pay, that is also coming on the app. I think pilot and yeah, a bit sa Canada. Nti mesra mo sɛ biribi ba saa a ɛyɛ a monhwɛ mo phone no so na mo activate ma yɛn na montimi use app no sɛdeɛ mo ankasa mo demanded no, so you'll be updating your apps to get all these new features. Nti PK kakra bi a mewɔ ɛka ɛna mede agya mo no, so in case biribi wɔ hɔ nom a we can talk about it.
All right, Director, that was it for all the updates, you know. So that Sabri, yeah, better Director say with all the beautiful updates. So I think I will join here, Mr. Share link no MIA na adofo so intimi mehwe ntie Lawyer RHODA the mo straight to the point, very quick and swift. Na will be a kwaya for questions. And as we all know, no, 7:30 Pepe no, she'll be out into the. It means questions. No, we have to start early to get the questions in earlier so that we can get some response for that. But before you bet to us, you better call that about for us. I say, you better feel good services. I say, one more. I saw yesterday. So we put any mental health educator. Yeah, Mr. For Mitchell Quine will feelgoodservices@gmail.com. Feel good and I make come for Amaoni. We boost you for any. So na me come for Feel Good Homes. Amount. Feel Good Homes, in case you're looking for an apartment to lodge anywhere, Pokwase, East Legon, Adjungano, East Legon Hills, Mr. Feel Good Homes, Omo studio 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom apartments. Almost also even a house if you want to rent it out. Also, no more houses are more 4 bedroom houses. Into no from +1 513 372 5758. Offer us a picking a small na. They say discount be one near more discount in na bibia enkoso kama. And to Mr. Russell, but more dear friend na bibia enkoso a year amount. So now may come for yɛn nua mɛma last week ɔmo baa yɛn ne yɛn ɛbɛtwitwe yɛn nkɔmɔ ama biribi. All right, Tatapsen, biggest sponsor for this show. And again, like I always say, if you don't have Tatapsen right now, that means there's something wrong. Then my question is, I want to know how you are sending money back home to Ghana or Africa. And if you are sending money back home to Africa, how many times have you been duped? And how many times have your app been hacked? All those questions can be alleviated or mitigated when you use TapTapSend. because it's easy, it's fast, secure, and very convenient. Again, there's no transfer money on that. Once you send money, you send money. It's your money, it's gone. There's nothing about, oh, let's take 50 cents out because you send money back home. And on top of that, you get $20 on your first transaction if you use the promo code PK, P-KAY. Once you use the promo code and you send me a screenshot, I will send you a bag of rice for you to try your nums per day. So what's your Intimate only tap send app now. Again, shame on you. But after you crying off the shame, go ahead and download it from your Google Play Store, your App Store. And if you already have it, which I presume we all do, send it to your loved ones, your families and friends. Even I don't care if they're not in America, send it to them, because the goal is to make sure tap send is spread through the world and reach all angles and corners. Just like the gospel, those of you who believe in the spreading of the gospel. So please, let's spread the gospel according to tap send and make sure that the word hears about us in all humility and assurance. With that being said, I want to take this opportunity to introduce next week's show to all of us. So next week will be a beautiful one. We will be meeting with Ghana Commercial Bank, some representatives from Ghana Commercial Bank, and they will be coming in to talk to us about how to save in Ghana, invest in Ghana, and also how to actually pay our utility bills using the Ghana Commercial Bank. Again, in order for you to send money to Ghana Commercial Bank, you must use tap send, because tap send has that option of sending money to yourself, to your bank account, as not just Momo. We all should know this by now. So if you're gonna be sending money to tap send to Bank of did I say Bank of Ghana? Ghana Commercial Bank. Please, not Bank of Ghana. If you're gonna be sending money from your tap send to your Ghana Commercial Bank account, that'd be awesome, or that'd be a great way to actually start off. And now you don't have to give the money to Nana Lord. Say Nana Lord, couldn't go to electric bill, but Nana Lord, they could train a new speddy. And I say, yeah, Odi is Kabema, Dr. Danny, couldn't go to your water bill, Mamma, Dr. Danny, they train a new speddy. So, with that being said, just to alleviate all that, let's have a good feel for next week whilst we, indulge them and have some great education on that. At this point, we're going to call upon our prolific lawyer, astute lawyer, who have been very, very helpful and also very, very educative in terms of giving us some nuggets for us to steer through our daily activities, especially in these dark days that we are. I did not tell her to wear blue. She decided to, jump on the team and, wear blue. Lawyer RHODA A-FRIMPONG, welcome to the show, Time with tap send.
Thank you. By the way, the blue is for Bethel. This is Bethel blue. So yeah.
And Bethel law makes things simple. So this is simple blue.
Yes, that's right. I like that. That'll be our new catchphrase.
Hey, the moment be $5 if I'm offer.
Not bad, not bad.
All right. Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's been a busy day. It's been a snow day here, but the business doesn't stop because it's snowing.
Where are you again? Virginia, right?
I wish. Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Oh,
cold and snowy Massachusetts.
I wasn't going to say that, but since you said it, back in the days, they used to say Massachusetts are colonial masters.
I would believe it. This is where America started. America started in Massachusetts.
So, well, in boot camp, if people say they're from Massachusetts, they're like, oh, you don't say car, you say car. So
yeah, car, and
and they used to make fun of us like, hello, colonial master. So Massachusetts, Oba will kill me. I think Oba is not in Massachusetts. Oba is in Connecticut, right?
Yes, no, she's in Mass. Unless she moved, but Oba is, I think she's in
You know what? Oba is in Massachusetts. She's in Connecticut. She's in Rhode Island. She's everywhere.
Yeah.
She's all over those enclaves. So Oba can have that. Well, what is going on? What is going on? Now, what has been going on?
Yeah, what has been going on? Well, again, good evening. I'm not a stranger here anymore, so I don't know if I have to do introduction, but you don't know.
I mean, for the purpose of those who just showed up today, and also for us to know where you're coming from so that we can track you easily, Bethel Law Group, all social media handles, mention all of that.
So yeah, so my name is RHODA. If you're A-FRIMPONG.
Hold on, stop right there. You are also a Friday born.
I'm a
Director, we have another Friday. The other lawyer that came was Friday. You are Friday. God bless you.
Yeah.
That is why
Friday is where it's at.
That's why we connect so well. Proceed.
So yes, Friday morning.
PK.
So yeah. Okay.
Director said that. Hold on, director said that. Director said that.
I mean, PK is just trying to stampede the whole show with Friday bonds. I know he's been biased. No problem. The
Lawyer,
next time,
continue.
the
Everybody
next
looks
time I
forward
get
to
our draw.
Friday.
Oh,
Let
really?
Ajwa.
So
Really?
that's starting the work week. Friday we are starting the weekend. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Okay,
But
so PK got busy. Okay, I get it.
so anyway, so
Yeah.
yeah, so immigration attorney. I'm the founder and the only attorney at Bethel Law Group. It's based in Massachusetts, but I have clients throughout the world actually. So in all 50 states and some parts of the world. If it's U.S. immigration law, I can assist with that. If it's family based, I always say immigration is really broad. There's humanitarian, there's business, and then there's family. I do family, I do a little bit of humanitarian, and once in a while a business. So the family is you're filing for your mother, you're filing for your spouse, you're filing for your children. It's you're trying to go to school, you want to come to the World Cup. A little bit of the removal proceedings, which is you're in immigration courts and you need help. That is what I do. I do not handle asylum cases. I do not handle some employment cases, so L1 visas and things of that sort. I can give guidance on it, but it's not a service that I provide at the moment. The reason why I said my whole name is because I know I don't sound Ghanaian, but I believe me when I tell you I am very Ghanaian. So my tree is not the best, but I understand it. So if you have questions and you want to speak in tree, feel free. My office number, I will post it in the chat so for those who are looking for it. That way you can reach us. We are on Instagram, Bethel Law Immigration. We are on TikTok, Lawyer Row. That's my personal TikTok. We are on Facebook, Bethel Law Immigration as well. So, and if you need to reach us, we are also on WhatsApp. So you can, if you're out of the country, you can also reach out to us on WhatsApp, and I'll post that shortly. And that's a little bit about me. Okay.
Thank you. That's awesome. Now, can we ask a little bit about you? What's going on with the immigration laws?
Immigration. So it's been quiet the past couple of weeks, which is either good or bad, because good meaning maybe they're tired and they'll leave us alone now, or bad meaning that they're discussing and something new is going to drop soon. But in the last few weeks, I think since the beginning of this year, and PK, correct me, is this my first time on the show this year? Or is this
Yes.
my first
The last time was December.
December. Oh wow. Okay. Well then, happy New Year, Fishapa. Okay. But since this year started, there's been a lot of different policies that have come out. There's been travel bans, there's been visa suspension, and there's been USCIS policies. So what I'll do is I'll explain what each means, because they all have their independence rules and how some of them kind of co-mingle. Okay. And I will slow down because I know it's Brofono. Sometimes I'm gonna say it kind of too fast. So let me slow down a bit. All right, so the first thing that happened this year was that ending of last year, the administration puts into place a 39 country travel ban. 39 countries. Ghana is not on that one. Okay, there's a 39 country travel ban that went into effect in December, ending of last year. That it lists different countries that are partially banned and some of them are fully banned. Partially banned meaning that visitors visa, student visa are not being issued. Okay, if you didn't have those visas and you were from any of those 39 countries by January 1st, 2026, if you didn't have any of those visas and you're from a partially banned country, you couldn't get one. If your country is fully banned, then it means visitor visa and immigrant visa. So your immigrant visa is a person who's coming to the United States because someone here has filed for them to come and stay here permanently. Immigrant visa means you're immigrating to the United States. You're going to make America home. You're coming to get a green card. So if you're fully banned, that's what it applies to. If you're partially banned, it's non-immigrants, visitor visa, student visa. That went into effect December of last year. Then early this year, January, USCIS, which is the people that handle immigration in this country, they said that if you're from any of those 39 countries and someone files an application for you here in the United States, they won't issue a decision. They'll accept the application, they'll accept your money, they'll process it, but they won't issue a decision. So for example, I know that Nigeria is on that partial ban list. The ban says that if you're from Nigeria and as of January 1st, 2026, you don't have a visitor's visa or a student visa, you can't get one. That's what the ban says. USCIS says if you're from Nigeria and you're in America and someone is filing a green card application for you, because your country is part of the 39 country ban, we will take your money, process, but we won't give you a decision. So that's how the 39 country ban affects those who are in this country. So if you're from any of those 39 countries and you're in America, because you're from one of those countries, USCIS will not process, they will not issue a decision on your application. Then a few days or so later, middle of January, they came out with the 75 country visa issuance suspension. That one, Ghana is on that list, and a lot of other countries, 75 countries, a lot of other countries are on that list. That policy primarily and only applies to people who are outside of the United States, who are applying for immigrant visas out of the United States. So if you're trying to come here, let's say your wife is here and she filed for you and you are in Ghana and you're waiting for interview and your interview is in 6 months, you'll go to the interview. They probably won't cancel it. You'll give them the documents. They'll tell you, great, but we can't give you a visa because Mr. Trump says we can't, because visas are not being issued. That's for a person who's from Ghana or any of those 75 countries. Only if the person is getting their visa overseas, immigrant visa. The reason why I want to really make it clear is because it doesn't mean that if the person is in America, they can't get their green card. So if you're Ghanaian and you're in the United States and you're processing your application in the United States, you're fine. There's been no policy that affects that as of now. Okay, so if you're on the 75 country list, and that's the only list that you're on, and you're in the United States, you're not impacted. If you're on the 39 country list and you're in the United States, you are impacted. So that's the big difference. People have been asking me, so does this mean that if I want to file for my husband, I shouldn't file? Still file, because the process takes a long time. So while this ban is in place, which from what I've been told by people who know, it's likely that this ban and this suspension will be in place for the entirety of this administration. It's likely.
Oh, wow.
It's likely. I don't see that changing. But I will say that about 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, there was a lawsuit that was filed against the administration challenging the 75 country visa issuance suspension. And interestingly, the person who brought that lawsuit is a Ghanaian woman. So right now they're challenging it to say that it's not right, it's not constitutional, it's affecting people because some people, in her case, she filed for her kids years ago, and her kids and her grandchildren years ago. They've gone through the entire process. They went to the interview. The consulate wanted to give them the visa, but because of this suspension, they couldn't. And so the entire process that she's been waiting for, I think 80 something, is basically stopped until this suspension is lifted. So she through some, she's working with some other organizations, and I want to say New York, but it may not be New York, but with some other organizations who challenge this suspension. If they're successful, we may see it lifted. We may. But as of right now, it's unlikely. And I'm saying that because when we all dealt with Trump 1.0, which was when he was in office a few years ago, almost all of those bans stayed in effect. None of them really changed until the new administration came in. So it's possible that it'll stay and nothing will change, but that doesn't mean you still shouldn't file. Because if you're filing for someone in Ghana, it's probably going to take about 3 years anyway. And God willing, in 3 years, this administration will not be in office. So that's with the suspension and the ban. Another big question people have been asking that I wanted to touch on: if I have a green card, can I travel if my country is on any of those lists, on the 39 country or the 75 country? You can travel as a permanent resident if you don't have a criminal history, if you don't have anything in your history that would bring attention, or if you haven't done anything, on social media that would be viewed as against national interest. So I don't want people, because I know I've seen some AI video circulating that if you leave the United States, you have a green card, they can cancel it, you have to start all over again. That's not true. If you have a green card and it's not expired and it's valid, you can travel, and I would ideally say don't stay out more than 6 months. But even if you wanted to, you can. So if you have green card, you can travel even if your country is on the list. What may happen when you're coming back is that they may ask you additional questions, or they may not. It also depends on the airport that you're coming back through. But that's another big question that people have been asking. I think last but not least, U.S. citizens who are filing, U.S. citizen children can still file for their parents who are undocumented. I know people have been hearing about Trump is trying to do away with the birthright citizenship. It's still the law of the land. It's still, nothing has changed. So if you've been in the United States, and I know there's a lot of people have been calling my office. You've been here for 23 years. Your child is turning 21 soon, and they are a citizen, and you don't have documentation, they can potentially file for you. Nothing has changed. If they're a U.S. citizen, they were born here, they can still file for you. And then the last updates is if you owe child support, over 100,000. Okay, if you owe over $100,000 in child support, the Department of State says that they will revoke your passport. So if you're a U.S. citizen and you owe over $100,000 in child support, which is only 500 people in the entire country. So if you're one of those 500 people, they'll take your passport away. And that's about it for the updates.
All right. Thank you very much
Pleasure.
for such a great update. It was quick, swift, and also I know we're going to have some questions in. At this point, if you are ready to speak, please put your hand emoji up. And also, if you have questions that you don't want to speak or you cannot speak wherever you at, due to wherever you at, just type in your question and we will read them for you. So our first question, who's going to come with the first question today? Usually it's always a female with the first question when it comes to law. So let's see who's going to type the first question today. I'm not saying because of that no female should type. If you have your question, just go ahead and type it. And if it's a fear, even double blessed. But yeah. Any question for Lawyer RHODA? I'm also looking at Facebook right now to see if I'm not missing anyone's question on Facebook. Again, we are live on Facebook, HRTV, Facebook, Tataps and Ghana, and YouTube, HRETV. Let's not make Lawyer RHODA go easier. If you have your question, please bring them
up. So please feel free, take it easy on me. If there's no questions, that's not a bad thing. I've been talking all day.
True. And it was more or less like, saying, I won't say the same thing, but then it's basically not too much updates from the last one that we had. But again, and also, usually I feel like the questions comes when people are in the process of, filing for their, dependent, the family. Now all those are halted. So it's like, I can't even come and say, hey, we had a letter from NVC. Asabia, I'll call you right now. We have a letter from NVC, and what is the next step? Because right now the next step is hold on. That's basically
it's not. It's not. The next step is to continue. That's what I'm trying to
No, I'm talking about you already have a letter from NVC, and you usually the next step is have an appointment date. Right. So you can have an appointment. So you're gonna have to just hold on right now and just wait. Right. Let's pick up Asabia. Asabia, please tell us where you're calling from and your question. Asabia, what day were you born? We want to acknowledge all days.
I'm a fear.
I said it. Said it.
No, PK, this is scripted. This is scripted.
I don't even know Asabia from anywhere.
This is
Asabia, please. Asabia, let's do what the one my churches people do. Asabia, what share be that? Asabia, only more baby. Asabia can draw. Asabia can draw. Ose pacho hide. Asabia be no one share home.
Me pacho hide.
Yo, but good many masses don't know. Asabia, what is your question, please? And tell us where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Maryland.
Okay.
And my question is, I'll file for my mom. And we have the case tracker, right? We've done the interview, everything. Before we used to see the breakdown, like the progress of the case. We got to the final decision, but right now we are not seeing anything like that. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Lawyer RHODA has any information about that.
Okay. So
Um,
you're filing for your mother and she's in America or she's
yes, she's here.
okay. And you went to the interview already.
Yes.
How long ago?
Since September.
Of last year? Wow.
Yes.
And nothing yet? There's no approval,
No,
no response.
nothing, nothing.
Okay, so September to December is 4 months, right? And then we're so about 6 months. So,
Yes.
but to answer your question, that online tracker is not reliable. That's
Okay.
number one. I have many people who use that and then they say that it says that I won't have an interview. So why did I get interview notice? It's not necessarily reliable. They just created a few years ago. But on a separate note, the fact that it's been about 6 months and still no response after a green card application for a parent of a U.S. citizen, right? Because I imagine you're a citizen, you're filing for your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say to follow up. Are you working with a lawyer or did you file it on your own?
On my own.
I would say to
But
follow up.
we called them and they said the case was at the benefit center and that they said it's been 6 months and it's within the
Normal
schedule.
process in time.
Yes, that's what they said.
Your mother attended an interview?
They waive it.
Okay, there we go. Because if she attended an interview, the case would not be at the National Benefit Center, it would be at the local field office in Maryland. Okay, so they waived the interview. How do you know they waived the interviews? Because of the tracker told you that?
Yes, because yes,
Okay.
because they didn't give us any letter for interview or nothing.
Okay. I wouldn't follow that tracker. When did you originally file the application?
In August.
August. Oh, okay. So yeah, you're still within normal processing time. I think I thought you filed it, went to interview in September, and you haven't heard anything back. That would be a little odd to attend an interview and 6 months later, still nothing. But if you just filed it in August, you're still within normal processing time. Yeah. But don't follow that tracker too closely. For parent petitions in my office, we're seeing about closer to 9 months, almost a year before a decision is issued.
Okay.
Yeah, so
All
it sounds
right.
like everything's on track.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure.
Mhm.
Thank you very much, Asabia Ifia Asabia from Maryland. Or come Maryland, the producer was like, Maryland, Grandpa Minimo. All right.
Just there 2 days ago.
Huh?
I was just there 2 days ago.
Oh, what does it look like over there?
Like America, I guess. It looks a lot like the East Coast. Yeah. If you've ever been to Virginia, it's very
There be Ohio na Yanko baby ada.
Hey, I said we'll travel. You have to travel. What?
There be
Only Ohio.
Ohio, you will be BBA, you will LA, you will New York. We have everything in Ohio. I'm okay. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I'm in Maryland like 3 times a year. I mean, not Maryland, the DFV area. But just because director had a hand in Asabia saying yes, we kind of planned. She being the fear, all that stuff. I have to find a way to come against that. So there's a question from director. He says, "I'm curious. How does someone owe the social service, please?"
How does a U.S. citizen owe the social services? Well, that's more of
child support.
Yeah, that's more of a family and probate matter, but I can touch on it a little bit. If let's say you have a child with a person, or maybe you're married to a person and you're divorced, and there was a child in the midst of the marriage, and whoever's the custodial parent, so whoever the child lives with full time, takes the case to court and asks for child support, meaning that you, the parent that doesn't have the child in your care, you're supposed to be paying something to help take care of that child. And a judge has ordered the amounts, or a Department of Revenue has said that this is how much you're supposed to pay based on your income, based on different factors, and you just decide you're not going to pay. Usually they can garnish your wages. Sometimes they have ways of getting the money. They can contact your employer and have your employer just, send them the percentage. But some people just avoid it in different ways. And so it accrues over time because it's monthly payment. It could be, let's say, $200 every month for one child. You multiply that by 12 months, you multiply that by 5 years, that's how you'll get to 100,000 eventually.
Okay. Well, I just want to say that if you have to be a so the rest of the week, please, I want your calls to come in. Bring all your calls. The Mondays, the Tuesdays, the Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. I think very soon we have to find out why all the guys starts with a K, but only Thursday starts with a Y, and all the ladies' names starts with an A. Only Thursday starts with a Y. We need to find out what's going on with
Wow.
that.
I've
We
never
need to
heard that.
probably have a show on that very soon about something in a traditional way. Again, it's Bethel Law Group. The number is 508-439-4445. You can reach them on Instagram at Bethel Law Immigration. You can send an email to connect@bethellawgroup.com. And sister will schedule a nice consultation with you with a very good deal again because of time with Tatapsen. Anne says, is it true that the visa appointments are open at GH Embassy? If so, has any applications been approved? Should applicants avoid applying with the risk of paying fees and getting denied anyway?
That's a good question. So yes, it's true that visa appointments have opened up. The U.S. Embassy in Ghana keeps posting about it. I think they posted it 3 weeks ago, and I saw another post last week. So I want to be clear that they mean non-immigrants visa. So your visitor visa, your student visa, there's appointments available for those visas, not the immigrant visa, the person who's trying to come to America to get a green card. Not that. So yes, visa appointments are opened. I can only say that based off of what they're reporting. Now, what you may see in their system, completely different. But from what they're reporting, the U.S. Embassy is reporting, they have dates available. Are applications being approved? Applications are approved on a case-by-case basis. It depends on the applicants. If they can prove that once they get this visa, they'll go and come back, then yes, they can be approved. They aren't posting their approval statistics. So I can't necessarily say if between the time that they announced it and now how many they've approved. I don't have that figure. But I can say that if you're applying and you apply correctly and you have the proper documentation, you put yourself in a good position. There is a high denial rate because every person who's applying is assumed to it's assumed to have what's called immigrant intent, meaning that they won't come back. And so if you can't convince them that you will, they already are denied. The minute you walk up, they think they're going to deny you. That's usually how it works. Your job is to move them to the other side of the metric that you will return. So you can apply, but I can't guarantee that you'll get it.
Well, that's some good information right there because that also gives you the chance to have a casual research on if, let's say, prior to approval or denial was 60% denial, and based on the data, that information that you gave that the approval, the denied is higher, that tells me that is anywhere between 70 to 100. So
Yeah.
probability can fall within like anyway, you can do your simple math and write 70 to 100% over 100% denial rates and just make your own judgment call based on that. So that I think that is enough data to even come up with some good statistics with it.
They do release that statistic. There is generally a chart that shows on average, what the approvals are. Just at this exact moment, I don't have that. But yeah, it's
Exactly.
available. It's definitely available.
That's good. All right, and I think you got your answer. iPhone says, please, any updates on asylum? I know you don't. You say you don't do an asylum like that, but again, in terms of updates, you probably might have some good information for us.
Yeah, so the only update as of now is that they're looking to make changes to the employment authorization that's associated with asylum applicants. So generally, when a person applies for asylum, it means you've come into the country and you're afraid to go back to your home country because they'll either kill you or torture you. So you apply for the asylum application, you submit it. Usually 180 days after applying, you are eligible to apply for work authorization. They are changing that to 365. So you come into America February 23rd, 2026. You have to apply for asylum within that first year and then wait another year before you can apply for work authorization, which is a big, significant change because most people will just be here lingering for a year without being able to work legally. I do know that they also have plans to pause processing of work authorization for asylum applicants if based on their own internal processing time, it's taking longer than 6 months to process them. So more or less, they're just trying to make it a little bit more difficult to get work authorization through asylum. So that's an update.
Thank you. Our Taibo Media says PK knows MD like himself. See, people like this can even let you live in lie to get your way through your life. Again, if you're in the DMV area and you need or you're ready for an exclusive personality interview, reach out to Otaibo Media. Just as the name says, look them up on social media. The logo is right there. Otaibo Media. and they will set you up for a good interview or personality profile. Even if you have any business that you want to, promote, please reach out to Otaibo Media, and they will take care of you in the DMV area. Also, I'd agree to you. Joe Paddy says, I would like to know if students on F1 visa can file for their dependents F2 who are in Ghana now. Good question.
Yeah, good question. You can. So that visa is not affected by the visa issuance suspension. That only affects a person who's trying to get immigrant visa. So if you're here as a student and your partner or your children are in Ghana, they can certainly apply for an F2 because that's a non-immigrant visa, and they should be allowed to come to the United States. In fact, they should be able to get a visa appointment, an interview appointment pretty soon because of what the announcement is. So they certainly can.
All right. iPhone 17 Pro Max says, hi, I was a little late, but please, my question is, I filed for my adult children since 2018, and the case is still pending. I called them last year, and they told me that it's still in the process at California. So if they need anything further, they will contact me. So my question is, are my application affected? Are my application affected the band or by the band, or it's not affected, please?
You filed in 2018 for your adult children. Are they married or unmarried? Because that will help me determine the answer.
iPhone 17 Pro Max, since I'll say, guys, take advantage of it since we have some time today because it was a very quick update. Put your hands up so that I can unmute you and just ask your question. Maybe wherever he or she is, they cannot talk.
Yeah.
But if you cannot, just go ahead and answer the follow-up question that the lawyer asked.
They're not married.
Okay. He or she says they have not married. Okay.
So adult unmarried children, and the person is a U.S. citizen, I'm assuming, the one who's asking the question. Again, that also matters.
Yes, I might assume that because if it's not, then that's gonna take like 85 years. Sorry.
Well, it depends. Sometimes being a green card holder moves things faster in some instances. All right,
That's
so
crazy.
the person is a U.S. citizen and their kids are unmarried. They're an
Assuming
yes.
that they're a U.S. citizen.
Yes, and if they filed it in 2018, there's roughly about a year more before they'll get to your case. So the reason why they said it's normal processing time is because you have to wait. You're in a waiting line. That 2018 date is your place in line. As of right now, I'm looking at the chart. They're at 2016. That's assuming that you are a U.S. citizen. That's the chart that I'm looking at. But for unmarried adult children of U.S. citizens, they're looking at 2016, between 2016 and 2017. So you have about one more year before the USCIS will send you an approval notice, hopefully, before you move on to the next step. So that's why nothing's happening.
All right. Okay. He or she says, okay, thank you.
My pleasure.
All right. Any more questions? Please, YouTube, I've not forgotten about you guys. I'm coming. This question is from YouTube, and this is from Frank Obain. So how soon can my son, 21 years, and a green card holder for a year, file for his citizenship? Oh, okay. Get it now.
Okay, so if your son is 21, he only has green card for 1 year. Assuming he didn't get the green card through marriage, he has to wait 5 years. So he has 4 more years to go before he can file for citizenship.
But if it's marriage, how many years?
If he got his green card through marriage and he's still married to the person and still living with the person, after 3 years, he can file for citizenship at year 3. But he has to still be married to and living with that person. All
right. So this is Facebook, HRTV's Facebook. This is from, I lost the message. This is from Kwabna Rekon. Oh, Kwabna Rekon says very informative. So thank you guys very much. Again, if you have any question, please bring them in. And I have some questions over here for you. Some people still send message back though, which is okay. So in terms of your fees, right? Can you please walk us through your fees a little bit whilst I'm getting the questions ready?
Sure. Sure. So we offer about 3 different consultations. And what a consultation basically is, it's a one-on-one session. So a platform like this, it's general questions. And I'll use the last person who asked the question as an example. He asked what sounds like a simple question, but I needed 2 answers before I could answer what he's asking me. He said that he's filed for his children 2018, and it's taking a long time. I need to know what his status is. I need to know whether the children he's filing for are married. Sometimes I need to know what country that they're in, and sometimes I need to know how he even got his status. So all of that information usually can't be derived unless we have a sit down one-on-one time. So that's the purpose of the consultation. I can ask you those questions and then give you a specific answer that applies to your specific situation. And sometimes it allows me to also give you ideas that maybe you may not have considered. Many people call me asking about fiance visa. By the time we're done, they realize it's probably better to just get married. And sometimes you may not even realize that. Some people also call me and say, oh, I want to file for my fiance. Meanwhile, they've already gotten married. And I tell them that's not possible. So that's the purpose of a consultation, for us to have that conversation and go deep into your matter. We have 30 minutes phone sessions, which again depends on the detail of your case. If your question is, if it's going to take you 15 minutes just to tell me your question, 30 minutes is probably not enough for us to talk, right? We have 45 minutes phone or video, where it's something like Zoom, like this, where you see me, I see you, and we talk for 45 minutes. And then we also have 1 hour in person. So my office is currently in Massachusetts, and I have people who have driven down from Maine, people who've driven down from New York.
Can the in-person cannot be done over the Zoom?
Yeah, so it's 45 minutes on Zoom. Yeah. So obviously, if you can't come down in person, we can do it by video. But the video is usually about 15 minutes less. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
for the 30 minutes phone, it's $150, 150. For the 45 minutes, either phone or video, it's $200. And then for the in-person 1 hour is $250. And I publicize my consultation rates because they are affordable. I've seen what other people charge. I have lawyers who charge $300 for 30 minutes, and that's not bad because they're working for their money. And you're getting your value. But I also try to meet people halfway because I understand that immigration is expensive.
And is this with our discount, or
No,
this is without
that's the standalone price as it is. Yeah.
standalone?
The
So
discount was
what is the
only during
discount alone?
check back at Christmas time. That was only for the
Christmas
holidays.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw. I mean, the flyer. I took away the Christmas part, so I still have it as.
Don't confuse the people, because the people will call.
No, for me, not for
okay.
people. I'm talking for
Oh, for you.
myself.
Okay, then that's
Yes.
That's
So once I'm coming, me home Christmas. After some words, I can see some words.
I see.
And also after January, I can see some words like Christmas and all the stuff. So maybe November I'll see that back again. But whenever the opportunity arises and you can, mitigate or kind of arrange the pipes a little bit in terms of pricing, just put in some construction works and some gear tools to
I did
adjust it a
just
little.
say that my mates are charging $300 for 30 minutes.
Yeah, we know that. Oliver
okay.
Twist. You read Oliver Twist, right?
I'm sorry?
You read Oliver Twist, right? Back middle school.
Yeah, no. I
No,
didn't read that one. No.
that's your homework for tonight. Go read about Oliver Twist.
I will have to.
Yeah. It was part of the books that we read with Gulliver's Travel, Oliver Twist, Shakespeare, and all the good stuff. So
Yeah.
but the keyword is Oliver Twist. Please, if you know what Oliver Twist said, please put in the chat too, so that our sister will understand.
Educate me today.
Huh?
You can educate me today.
They will. I won't. I would, but somebody will respond exactly. Oh, Phyllis said it. Oliver Twist asked for more. So we're just asking for more.
Okay, I can work with that.
All right.
I can work with that.
So now that we've understand the process of your pricing and how everything is going, can you walk us through? I'm trying to rephrase how the person put the question because it was a whole paragraph. So I'm trying to rephrase. But can you walk us through the process of managing? That's the word I'm looking for. Managing ICE officers. 3 scenarios: when they walk up to your door, when they see you in public space, or you got put over driving. So sometimes you can get put over, and maybe they call the ICE for you because you're still in the process of trying to work on your documentation. And those that I'm talking about from the house. So it's 2 different phases, right? With those 3 scenarios. But one is fully documented and not and in the process to get it documented, what is the best way to manage ISIS and not getting yourself in more trouble?
Yeah, so you want to be aware of what state you live in, and more specifically, what city you live in. That's number one. If you're undocumented, even if you have something pending, simply having something pending is not protection, right? Just because you have, let's say, a work authorization, and your green card is pending, doesn't mean that you have lawful status, or if heavens forbid you come in contact with ICE, they can't detain you. That's not official status. So you want to know what city you know, what the rules and the policies are for the city you live in. The reason I say that is because some cities have made it clear that they're not going to work with ICE. So if, let's say, heavens forbid, you are pulled over by a police officer for any reason, at least you know that, because, and I'll use the city of Worcester, for example, in Massachusetts, they've made it clear that they're not working with ICE. So if a police officer in Worcester pulls you over, you don't have to worry that they're going to call ICE to come and get you. Right. But at the same time, that just because you live in a city that is not going to do that doesn't mean you should put yourself in a position to be in law enforcement interaction. So you want to be mindful about that. Number two, if ICE for whatever reason stops you, most people don't realize it's ICE until it's kind of escalated. If you live in a city where they've made it clear that they're not going to work with, and let's say you're walking from the grocery store and someone stops and asks you, hey, do you have your documentation? Well, obviously they're not the police, because your city says that the police is not going to ask you that question. So immediately you know that they're ICE. You're not obligated to answer any questions. You're not. You're also not obligated to present any documentation. But I do tell people that you want to exercise discretion in that situation. My mother usually says, you know, comply and then fight it. So you know, live to see another day and then fight it afterwards. So you want to use wisdom in that situation. If you are a permanent resident and you don't want to have to deal with them, you can show your green card and call it a day if you want to. If you're a US citizen, you're not required to show, you know, to prove you're a US citizen. There's no law requiring that. But again, how you don't want to be bothered, you want to just go about your business, you can do that as well. But understand that the law doesn't require you to do that. If you're not documented and let's say they pull you over on the road, number one, you have a right to remain silent. Number two, if they say they're detaining you, I tell everyone, especially if you don't have documentation, you should have someone that you can contact in case of emergencies. That person should know your full name. I know many of us have nicknames. Like, for the longest time, I thought PK's name was PK. I'm not sure I still know what your name is.
It's actually my name, pt2.
Is your government name?
Like my initials to my name.
Okay, but see now, God forbid, if you got detained and I had to find you, I would type in PK. And
Yeah,
that's not what the government would have in the system.
But if you type PK OFORI-ASENSO on Google, I'll still pop up. And even on some of my jobs, I had it as PK instead of my first name.
P-K-A-Y?
No, P.K. The hyphen, yeah.
Okay, is that on your passport?
No.
Okay, so that's what they would put in the system. You get what I mean? So there's a specific website that attorneys or anybody for that matter can type in a person's first, last name and you know the country they're from, and if they're in detention center, it'll show. I know many people have done that with the former minister that's been detained right now, former minister from Ghana. Many people pulled it up because they have his first, last name and his country. It shows up. And so if you are undocumented, you want to make sure that the person, at least one person, knows your full official name, whatever name is in your passport. Because if they detain you, that's what they're going to put in the system. That information will allow a lawyer to be able to find where you are and to assist you. But if we don't know where you are, it makes it harder. So if you're undocumented, that's the first thing that I would say. Two, if you're in your home is your castle. It's old law, but you're the king of your castle, you're king of the home. If they don't have a warrant that's signed by a judge, and 9 times out of 10 they don't, you're not required to open the door. If they decide they want to barge into the home, number one, everyone remains silent. You're not required to say anything. You're not required to answer any questions. But just simply because they're knocking and saying it's police, and most of the time they won't say it's ICE, they'll knock and say it's police. I also tell people that they're not all men. Most of the videos you see, yes, they're men that have masks. Some of them are women as well. So just because someone knocks on the door and you see a female standing outside through the door, it doesn't mean that they may not be ICE. You want to know who they are and know what they're asking for. If they're asking for Kwabna entry, and you know Kwabna entry is not home, you simply say he's not here. You don't have to open the door. Okay. That's another thing when it comes to the home. If you are, let's say, visiting someone and you happen to be the one that comes to the door, you don't have the authority to allow ICE into the home. So that's another thing to be mindful of. I think I covered all the bases.
All right, you have a recommendation here. So this is coming from, I don't know if he want me to disclose him, but I'll leave it as Limbs, Mr. Limbs, Pastor Limbs, Marco Kerry. He said, because I don't like misquoting people's titles,
I
right?
get it.
And it's right there in my face. That's my big brother right there. So he said, I highly recommend her to anyone who needs immigration assistance.
Oh, thank you.
She helped me to understand some clumsy immigration issues that were bothering me some time ago. Good job. So
Thank
that is a good recommendation. He barely recommends people. So if he is doing it, then he means a lot about it.
Thank you.
iPhone says, I don't know right now if I should say his name or iPhone. iPhone says, my name is Charles. I'm a asylum seeker. If need to bring iPhone, please help me. I want to break it down before I can make it sense. My name is Charles and I'm a asylum seeker. If need to bring, I don't know if he's trying to say if I need to bring my children, can it be possible?
If you're an asylum seeker, have you actually been granted an asylee status? Can you bring your children? It is possible because depending on what the fear of
Justification
persecution is, yeah. So if you, the father, are afraid to go back because of, persecution to you or threats to you, presumably those same threats and persecution applies to your kids, possibly. So you can.
All right. Joe Paddy says, does lawyer RHODA also deal with EB1, EB2, NIW visa application?
Okay, so EB1 is different from EB2. EB2 NIW we do on a case-by-case basis. EB1 I do not currently, but I do have a colleague that I refer those cases to. So yeah.
Okay. And iPhone comes back to says, thanks, lawyer. So pretty sure. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any question you want to talk, please put your hand emoji up and we will definitely get you to talking. If not, I have another follow-up question for the lawyer. I know it's hard to get hold of her. So once she comes, we're squeezing everything out of her before the next quarter. So thanks for the breakdown with the ISIS and also how to deal with them whenever they come, whether in the public space or in our domain. This may sound a little bit, confusing, but the sanctuary states, are ISIS still allowed to operate over there or not?
Very good question. But what is the sanctuary states? That's the question. And do any of them actually exist? Because I think some do exist, correct? I believe California still is.
LA.
Yeah, well, so you mean so sanctuary cities is more prominent, more popular than sanctuary states. A sanctuary state basically means that the entire state has made it clear that they will not cooperate or work with federal law enforcement in any way. Very, very few states are doing that. There are sanctuary cities, which is why I was saying that you want to be, if you're undocumented, you want to be aware of the city that you live in. For example, I mentioned Worcester in Massachusetts. They're not outrightly a sanctuary city, but they say that they won't work with the federal government. I live about 20 minutes from Worcester. The city that I live in doesn't have any kind of policy like that I know about. Okay, so you could live in Massachusetts, you can hear that Worcester has, this policy that they won't work with federal government and assume that means that if I live anywhere in Massachusetts, that applies to me too. Not necessarily.
That's not necessarily, okay.
Boston has sanctuary policies. Boston, the city of Boston, not the entire state of Massachusetts. So you just want to be sure and differentiate, because a sanctuary city does not mean a sanctuary state. Are they working with ICE? Well, I would hope not, because then that contradicts with the purpose of sanctuary.
So the question came from someone from New York. So is New York a sanctuary state? Or just some cities in New York?
I believe some cities in New York. I don't believe the entire state is a sanctuary state.
Okay.
But I may be corrected.
All right. So I'll take a pause on my questions and go to Galaxy. Galaxy says, please. So the states that do not work. Oh, the galaxy pretty much came right whilst my question was being asked and you were answering it. So I think it's the same thing the galaxy is asking. So you know the states that do not work with ICE, as you said. So I think maybe he or she wanted to know if you want to.
Oh, do I know what states
Yes,
that don't work with ICE? Not off the top of my head. I just checked New York. States from what I see is a sanctuary state. From
that's
again,
what I thought.
from what I see, yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know them all the top of my head. There are 50 states in the United States of America. So yeah. But what I can say generally is most immigrant-friendly states or
Mm-hmm.
cities, I should say, tend to have more favorable
The
immigration
more
policy.
liberal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, all right. All right. The next question that I want to ask is based on I did ask analysis, right? Is based on people that are going through interviews, um, and in this case for what is not fiancé but married, right? And genuinely they are married, but then there been instances whereby people are genuinely married and still get denied because they are not good, interviewees, and sometimes they turn to panic or the fear of anxiety kicks in, and if they are not lucky and they get separated, words end up being different. Is that something that you coach on? Also, we know people that have medical conditions that, dyslexia that makes them, forget what they're talking about, or probably, like, I have a friend that will tell you, I don't even remember what I did 3 hours ago, how much more what happened last week, and some of us keep like archives upon archives in our head. Our head is not big for anything. So we keep archives, and sometimes even when we go back into retrospect of things that has transpired, we want to quote the month, the year, and the day, if possible. Just because maybe you have love for history and you just want to be on factual basis. So, in this case of someone having a dyslexia, or maybe someone having the fear of anxiety, or not a good talker, going to interviews, is that something that you help people to actually prep for that, or you think it should be naturally flowing?
Oh gosh, no. Good question. Yes, we certainly help people with that because I've seen even the most confident people go into immigration offices and just forget their names. I've seen it happen.
On your small boy.
Real quick, something as even for citizenship rights that they ask you to simply write Flag Day is in June. People who can use big English all of a sudden can't spell the word flag, right? So I've seen it. So I completely encourage people to at least get preparation. Even if you file the application process yourself, get preparation with an attorney, primarily because hopefully if it's a good attorney, you can get the questions that you want to have, that helps you have an idea. Not every lawyer will have all the questions. I've been doing immigration close to a little bit over 10 years now. I've been to a lot of immigration interviews. I've compiled a lot of the questions that they ask. I've heard the simple questions like, what's the date of birth of your spouse? And then I've heard really specific questions like how many windows are in your bedroom, and if I stand on the window on the right and I look outside of the window, what do I when I look?
And those are questions that most people don't even know.
Absolutely.
And genuinely, they do sleep in the same room.
Yes. Yes. And so we prepare you, we give you, because there are things that you don't think about, right? When you're just existing and living with your partner, you don't think about what's outside of the window on the left. No one thinks about that. But when you know you have immigration interview coming up, they ask some of these things because they want to know if truly you actually live in that home. So we definitely prepare people. We give you the questions that I've compiled over the years, and then I do an intensive mock interview with you. What you're describing is called a Stokes interview, where they separate you. And usually they do that if they have suspicions about the marriage. They'll ask one person, the questions, and then they'll call the other person in to see if the answers match. Answers are supposed to be similar, not same. Obviously, male and female look at things in different perspectives. People look at things if you ask my husband, how was your day? You probably get 3 sentences. If you ask me, how was your day? You'll get 3 paragraphs. Doesn't mean that either one of us is not telling the truth. So you just have to be able to make sure you're telling the answer in such a way that it fits with what the other person has said. But I strongly recommend, especially now, that if you're going for a marriage-based interview or even a citizenship interview, at least contact a lawyer and do a prep review. The free advice I would give is review your application before you go, because they don't know anything about you unless you submitted it to them with your application. So that's the mistake most people do. They submit it and then they don't check it again. And then they go to the interview and the officer asks, when did you move out of 233, HRE Boulevard? And you give a different date.
I like that.
You give a different date than what you put on your application, and then they think you're lying. So review the application before you go.
All right. Review that application before you go. And I wasn't going to expose you, but now I'm going to expose you. And if you need a good live band from one of the best guitarists, Ghanaian guitarists who played in Hollywood, this is the man to go to. If you reach out to me, I will definitely get you in his band. Man, crazy tunes, man. Well, I won't mention your name, Mr. N. Is the visa for World Cup a B1 or B2? Very good question. Or other. Are there any updates on visa applications specifically for World Cup?
Good question. So
you are Mr. N for a reason, because you always come with deep questions.
B2 is a visitor for tourist purposes, right? And then B1 is for business purposes. So if you're coming to watch a sports game or attend a graduation or go to a wedding, B2 is what you're going to come on. B1 is if you're coming for a conference, if you're coming to maybe negotiate some sort of a contract, right? That's what you'll come on. So based on the intentions and the definitions of the visas, a World Cup would come under the B2 for attending a sports events. Are there any updates on the visa application specifically for World Cup? Beyond the fact that they say that you'll get an interview date quickly if you buy FIFA World Cup tickets, that's about it. You'll get priority treatment when it comes to getting an interview, but doesn't mean that because you bought the ticket, you'll get approved.
Yeah.
Yeah,
some more. Any more question? Producer, we have, maybe we can probably unmute everyone and see if, because not everyone also knows how to use the emoji thing. If people can ask the questions through. If you have any question, please. I'm scrolling through some of the questions, but I'm having difficulties reading them, so I'm testing them to rephrase the question back. But yeah, if right now it's unmuted, please, if you have any question, please unmute yourself. Tell us where you're calling from and your question. If not, we'll have to give Lawyer RHODA's. Mr. N, did you unmute yourself? Yes. Tell us where you're calling from, sir. Mr. N, we can barely hear you. I cannot hear him. If you guys can hear him.
No, I can't.
All right. Okay, this from Relevant. Relevant, are you asking a question? All right. Lawyer RHODA, you might wrap it up for us for today.
Sure, no problem. Well, again, thank you for having me. Like I said, thankfully, there's no major updates with U.S. immigration, and that's a good thing, we hope. Should there be anything that does change, I will leave my handle on the chat, so you can feel free to follow our Instagram, because that's where I'm going to post the updates. Again, if you're undocumented, please designate someone who, in the event that you are detained by ICE, that person can be able to contact a lawyer for you, or at least get some help for you. If you are a green card holder and you got your green card and everything is all good, no criminal history, you can still travel outside of the United States, even if your country is on any of the travel bans or visa suspension bans. You can still travel. If you have criminal history or your immigration history is a little questionable, contact a lawyer before you travel. U.S. citizens not required to provide proof of their status. If you want to, you can exercise discretion, but you're not required to. Birthright citizenship is still the law of the land. If you have children who are born in the United States, they're turning 21, you're undocumented, they can still file for you. That has not changed. And beyond that, that's all I got for you all today.
All right. Before you leave, Director Danny or A-Class, can you guys please sign out Lawyer RHODA A-FRIMPONG for us, please?
Yeah, PK.
Yes, sir.
Lawyer Rhoda has always been our favorite lawyer, so yeah, we thank him.
Hey, you are
Yeah.
telling me, say me, I'm being partial with Afia, and now you are having a take on lawyers on the show.
You've bribed me into me. I will not say anything.
Director can lie for Africa.
He has a way of affecting everybody. So I mean, today is a fear. Tomorrow will be a door. I definitely know this. So,
I
I'll not.
caught the rest of the week to come and show the support to their days of the week, but apparently Afia and Kofi dominated. So
That's right.
We see today for a fear. Tomorrow will be.
hey, I heard somebody said that's right. Who did?
That was me.
Oh, but we had another Friday in the building. All right.
Yeah.
There's
So,
there's the go ahead.
yeah. We thank you for such a wonderful update. And, we hope to see you soon. When good news coming. When new updates coming, and hopefully it's going to be a good one to everyone else. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank
All right. Thank you very much. And before she leaves, again, it's Bethel Law Group. The telephone number is 508-439-4445. Instagram is Bethel Law Immigration. And the email is connect@bethellawgroup.com. Please make sure you reach out and please let her know you are coming from here so that she can see that Time with Tatapsen is really yielding some consultations. Like our people are listening, they are coming to get more information. Next time when we call upon her, she wouldn't be like, "Oh, all your people are good to go. They're all citizens." No, we all have issues, we all have concerns, and we need them to be resolved. I want to say big thanks to all the viewers that showed up today. We want to say thank you guys very much for your unwavering, continuous support. This has been tremendously appreciated, and we do not take this for granted. Please, next week, share the love, send the gospel to everyone, and let everyone show up so that we can all learn from such a great personality that we have here on the show. My name is Dr. PK OFORI-ASENSO, and I am your host. I am surrounded by my astute and unmovable producers, Nana Lord, Director A-Class, and the rest that are helping to bring this show to you. I want to also say that big thanks to Tatapsen and the ambassadors for being supportive every week, Monday, coming on the show. All the supporters and all the ambassadors that shows up, even those in Germany, those in UK. Man, God bless you all for all the time that you spend with us every Monday night. Thank you guys very much. And the next shout out goes to you, the Advent viewer and supporter of HITV and Time with Tatapsen. God bless you. Keep using Tatapsen, keep being an HITV fan, and keep being Time with Tatapsen loyal viewer as always, as usual. At this point, I'm going to hand over to Uncle Jimmy and the ambassadors whilst they take over with any issues or concerns that you may have concerning your app. But again, I forgot to do one thing today. If today's your first time on the show, please make sure you join our WhatsApp chat room, Friends with Tatapsen, and also the HRTV, the Friends with Tatapsen. Did I say Friends with Tatapsen? Friends of Tatapsen is the one with, in case you have any issues with Tatap, your app, and you want to ask questions about it, that's where we do all the good stuff at. And again, the HITV platform is where we try to communicate and talk about the topics that we want to treat here on the show so that you'll be the first to get that great information. So please, please, please join the links and let's take it from there. God bless you all. See you.